The Law Be With You podcast show, also known as Christian Fandom Geek on YouTube, is now part of the Red 5 network. Red 5 is a network of podcast shows aimed at bringing great quality content, especially Star Wars. And so look forward to some awesome collaborations on the Red 5 network with the Law Be With You podcast show.
There's one. Set for stun.
Will Smith. I don't think he'd ever do it, but it would be. I'd be interested to see him in a Star Wars film. If he was a Star Wars character, what role should he play? What type of role?
The type of role I'm going to keep it extremely broad. I think it should be a short and sweet character. That's it. Short and sweet.
What? Like an extra. There's somebody, a stormtrooper. Somebody in this stormtrooper outfit.
Stormtrooper takes off his helmet in the far distance, winks. So it's almost like an Easter egg. Nothing else.
So not a bounty hunter, not a Jedi, not a Sith, not a grey Jedi, not even an alien, just to make a joke of being the alien guy. None of that.
He'll be quite funny as a bounty hunter, though. I reckon it'd be quite.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought earlier when I thought about this. That's what I meant. That's what I thought earlier when I was thinking about this episode, and I was going to ask you this question. I thought the best role for Will Smith would be a bounty hunter.
Yeah, but he wouldn't be a Mandalorian. Definitely not.
Oh man, don't even say the Mandalorian. That TV. Have you watched Mando?
Yeah,
have you watched it yet?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is the best thing to come out of Star Wars for a long time. The Mandalorian.
Are you allowed to say that on this podcast? Are you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
Okay, as long as they're happy with you saying that. No, I love it. I'm gonna be quite honest. Is it all right for me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
You know, the Law podcasts, you know, I just want to be quite honest. I never used to really like Star Wars when I was younger.
Say it, man. Speak.
Never really used to like
Listen, brother, the truth shall set you free.
I'm free indeed. I thought when I was younger, I'm quite an active person in general. So watching a film of that length with so much information in, I just couldn't. It couldn't capture
Basically,
me.
Alex, you had ADHD. Tell the truth. Speak the truth. Don't water it down. Speak the truth.
Well, you know, I don't know about that. I haven't diagnosed. I can't speak it over myself. But, you know, do you know what I found?
You have too much energy. That's all. You got a lot of energy.
Wants to go and play out. The little quiet scenes, like the big wide scenes where it's just quiet and you just hear the atmospherics of, you know, the surroundings and the world, the Star Wars world. It's just too long for me. I need more information, and not because I had a young mind. I was quite young, but I think the Mandalorian, they successfully put in stories, great, captivating stories within a short amount of time that can capture my attention. If they redid the Star Wars franchise in that sort of fashion, now I'll be all over it.
Okay, so you're saying to me now, and this is guys at home, this is the Law Be With You podcast show. I'm Christian Fandom Geek. If you listen to the show, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. We've got different collaborators on the show. We've got guys, Alex on the show for the first time. We'll get him back on again. If you like this brother, we'll get him back on again because this guy has got a lot of knowledge. And we're talking Star Wars at the moment. So this is a Star Wars segment now. Okay, we're talking Star Wars, guys. And a lot of the fans, I know you love Star Wars, so keep listening. I know you're enjoying the show. Right. So we're going with Mandalorian. So basically, we think now that Star Wars going forward should be a Mandalorian universe. We think that make more bounty hunter storylines, more Mandalorian storylines. When we still love the Jedi and the Sith, but I think the format. So obviously, Alex, they're doing it on Disney Plus. So obviously, what's happened? Let me talk to the guys at home as well. This is what happened. Listen now. Listen, please. This is what happened. Kathleen Kennedy. We talk about Kathleen Kennedy on the show. My good friend Kathleen Kennedy. This woman has been on a mission to upset probably over half of the fan base. Right. She was kind of quite negative against the traditional fans of Star Wars, and has kind of wanted a more woke fan base. Okay, that's her agenda. That's her. You know. Do you know what I mean? That's what, if she wants to do that, that's up to her. Mm-hmm. But it backfired, and what happened is it started a fandom war within Star Wars. Whether you agree with that or not, that's what's happened. Okay, I'm not lying. That's the truth. There's a fandom war because Kathleen Kennedy's taken the ship of Star Wars a very different direction to how it was going. Okay, so the one thing, so what's happened there is the films. There's been backlash. So when they brought out the Last Jedi movie, which was the second of the new sequel trilogy. Obviously, the first one was Force Awakens. Alex, we went to see that together, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We went to Sutton Coldfield Cinema, the Empire Cinema, which is now closed down. We went there.
Really?
We went there. Big group of us. Me and my wife organised a big group of us to go to Empire Cinema, Sutton Coldfield. Loads of guys from church, loads of our friends. I was like, man, I'm excited about this new film. Alex, honestly, you can't believe how excited I was about The Force Awakens. I'm a Star Wars fan. I was so excited about that film. Yeah. And actually the film was okay. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay. It had enough about it to say, okay, it was a good opening film. They played it safe, but it was a good opening film. Fast forward a couple of years, they do bring in the new film, The Last Jedi. Rian Johnson is a director, and Kathleen Kennedy is still running the ship. Okay, and they completely go against everything that Star Wars fans were expected. What Rian Johnson called it was subverting expectations. They made Luke Skywalker a grumpy old hermit, depowered him, and at the end of the film, they astral projected him and raptured him up to Star Wars heaven. and well, I won't even say Star Wars heaven. I think he went to Star Wars purgatory. And dude, honestly, we all come out. We were all dismayed. We couldn't believe what was going on. So what is going on? So the fans retaliated. A lot of the fans retaliated. Half the fan base were like, no, we're not having that. We're not having what you just did. You look what you did to Luke Skywalker. Even worse than that, Alex. For me as a black man, you're a black man, you know this. What they did to John Boyega as Finn.
Oh gosh, don't get me started.
What they did to John Boyega as Finn was even worse.
Yeah.
They took in the opening film, in the advertising, all the advertisement on the internet, everything like that. You saw that. We think, hang on, is John Boyega a Jedi? Because we see him like, he looks like he's going to be a Jedi in this film. I thought, okay. But the second film, the guy was a comedian, comedy relief. He goes off to Canto Bight on them stupid horse things that are called the Fad of the Years. It looked like a mixture between a horse and a goat, like curry goat and rice thing going up there. And I was like, what's going on here? What is this? Please tell me, Alex, what happened there? What happened?
Bang out of order. Because I think, do you know what it is? You're going to have to help me with this because I'm terrible with character names. And names. So I think there's always two directions they could have taken this. And they couldn't take it both at the same time. Only could be one because it's too much sometimes for the brain to kind of comprehend. Now, the girl that is with Finn a lot, who's got a Jedi.
The main character, Rey.
Okay.
Rey.
Go. Rey. So there's always two ways it could have gone, really. You either you empower a black man and he's the Jedi and he kind of steers a ship that way, or you empower a white woman and steer the ship that way. Now, what's it for you? If you were in their position, what's a safer option for you?
Oh man, but dude, I see. For me, okay, I get what you're saying. I get that. I get you could say, okay, you could say, pragmatically speaking, you could say, oh, go with Rey. But even then, they'd say there's a risk there because she's a woman, and obviously, in Star Wars, I mean, we've got Princess Leia. Don't get me wrong, Carrie Fisher, God rest her soul. She was a center. She was one of the protagonists, really. I mean, I don't say she's the protagonist, but she was certainly up there with Luke Skywalker. But I get what you're saying. Like, she might have been a safer bet than John Boyega as Finn. But for me, you could have, even if you say, okay, we're going with Rey as a safer bet. I think that Kathleen Kennedy wanted Rey because it's almost like a self-insert of herself in the movie, but that's another conversation. But I still think you could have respected the character of Finn a lot more than they did, even if you keep him as a badass stormtrooper, whatever, or even if you kind of do the storyline as a former stormtrooper turned resistance fighter, but you make him just you just make him, give him a bit more verve, a bit more oomph about him. You don't have him say Rey every 5 minutes in the film. You know what I mean? And just kind of, because come on, brother, Rey, really?
He was a damsel. But as you said a bit earlier, what would Will Smith be like in Star Wars? I reckon they would have done the same thing to him as well if he was in there long enough as a mainish character.
Well, he'd be like, "Yo, Rey," like that.
Always slime going on him, or being shut indoors, or being trapped and can't get out. People saying you can't come with us because you're just useless. You're not really doing much work. You keep causing trouble. These sort of things. And do you know what? Hollywood does this a lot, and I think it's funny. It is funny because when we see that, you look at some certain films where you see black people as a main character, and they do something funny, like they fall over, they trip, or like in Men in Black, Will Smith with the slime. Oh my gosh, man, Jay on the slime. Those sort of things. It's funny but stupid at the same time.
It's cliche, but
very cliche. So they did the same thing with Finn's character. Now the reason I understand what you're saying, Catherine inserting like Rey as inserting herself in it. Yeah, I can totally understand that, but we gotta be real that sometimes to a lot of people still in the world now, the blackface is offensive.
Okay. Oh wow. All right. Okay. Let's talk about this.
The blackface is at the forefront.
Why is that? Tell me, why is a blackface offensive? Tell me. Just agree. We're being real, guys at home. We're being real now. There's no point for pretension. Why is a blackface offensive, dude?
The blackface is offensive. It's certainly like in the Hollywood realm. On the broader spectrum, people would say no, that's not the truth. But we've got to realize is that Star Wars caters to a lot of people. It's a very big franchise, and within that franchise, there are also going to be die-hard fans that are used to seeing, like we have seen before, as the main characters being white characters. They've been the hero. They saving people. Them being almost like the white kind of savior.
Okay, we've heard about this before. The white savior trope. I've heard about this before.
That's what people are used to because it goes so far back. If it was a new thing, then you build up a whole new fan base. But you have to realize we're also taking people who have been watching it from the originals and trying to bring them up to speed to where we are now. Now, changing culture drastically like that for some people, like, hold on, wait a second. This used to be my thing, and my mindset back then and still now is, white people would be at the forefront. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm thinking sometimes it's harder for you to break culture in something that's already been established because it already has its own culture. Okay,
but then some folks will say, "Well, hang on a minute. I'm say there'll be some white guys because a lot of I love white people. Please, white people who listen to this show. There's a lot of white people that listen to this show that support this show, that are very engaged with the Law Be With You podcast show. I love you. We love you, man. Because at the end of the day, my wife is white. I've got a lot of white friends. I'm a multicultural guy. My daughter is mixed race, dual heritage. Like, so for me, like, I'm proud of being a black guy, but I love white people. I love people of different races. That's the type of guy that I am. Right. Okay. And I try to be objective. I do try to be objective, even though I'm a pro-black guy and proud of being black. I try to be objective, and there'll be white people that will say, "Well, listen, hang on a minute. We've enjoyed Star Wars for years. We had Lando Calrissian, played by Billy D. Williams. He was one of the main characters, especially going into the second and third Star Wars films, Empire Strikes Back, and also going into the Return of the Jedi. In the prequels, which obviously were very controversial in their own right. You had Jar Jar Binks, not a great character. That was actually an insult to black people, but there you go. But you had Samuel L. Jackson played Mace Windu, a great Jedi character. He was one of the main protagonists in the film, especially in the second and third film. Again, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, he was one of the main characters in the film. So Star Wars fans there'll be Star Wars fans that listen to this that'll be saying, look, first of all, there are strong black characters in Star Wars already. And if Finn had been written better, he would have just been another strong black character that we would have supported. It was just a case of he wasn't written properly, and so that's why. And they'd probably say they might say we don't care about color, we just want characters to be done the right way.
I totally agree with you there, and I'm not against I'm not against white people at all.
No, I know you're not.
I'm just causing that conversation because I think people don't realize we can always direct it towards the fans. I shouldn't really have directed it towards the fans really, because it's not they're not determining anything at all. As we can see how there was a lot of backlash between some of the recent films, but
of course
the writers writing in a black, what can white writers do in terms of writing the black character?
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Law Be With You podcast show on Christian Fandom Geek. I really appreciate every one of you who listen to the show via podcast player or on YouTube as Christian Fandom Geek. We're also on the Red 5 network as well. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this awesome project and enterprise. I've got some great collaborators on the show as well, having some awesome episodes, and we're really glad that you are part of the ride. Keep listening to the show. Also, you can follow the show on Twitter. If you put in the Law Be With You podcast show or Law Be With You, it will come up on Twitter as well. So if you want to interact with the show, leave a comment and leave a suggestion for future episodes. Would be really happy to engage with you as fans of the show. Keep safe, and we'll be with you very, very soon on the Law Be With You podcast show.